Fine, thank you. How are you? Welcome back. All right. It is. It's 1 o'clock. We got a call. It's 1 o'clock. I'd like to call the Criminal Justice Authority regular meeting for September 6th, 2020 to order. Next item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Brown, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Notice of this meeting was properly posted on September 1st, 2022. Next up are public comments. First up is Jess Eddy. Please hold your comments to 3 minutes, Mr. Eddy.
Thank you, Mr. Couch. I just want to address some routine things on the agenda, and then maybe looking forward to the holiday season, make some innovative recommendations. First of all, I know you all have heard me to address this before, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I looked at the revenue that the trust collected from telephone services at about $110,000, and my understanding is that that's probably, half or a third or some relationship there, that the company is making a profit as well. So the money that we're making off people for the telephone services is sizable. And I just want to repeat that I think that's immoral. I understand that we have to pay a service to provide, telephones, and those phone systems are weird and probably necessarily have to be in some instances, but other detention centers around the country have found ways to provide a safe and secure telephonic access to inmates at no cost to their families and to them. And I just think these are the poorest of the poor people, and to make such a large profit margin off of them is immoral. I know we've purchased the body scanner, and we believe that the contraband coming in to the jail is a large problem. And I want to maybe divert our attention toward the problem and not the cause necessarily, or a contributing certain cause. The cause is that around half of people that are incarcerated in America either abuse or are addicted to substances. And we know that, and so that's the cause. And instead of, we're looking at deaths, that a lot of those deaths are suicide or mental health or physical health. They're going to be related and have contributory causes of addiction, long-term addiction. And so I think that if we need to take a really progressive and innovative approach towards that, and looking at how do we address that problem rather than these large expenditures being the first choice, like a body scanner. But there's some amazing practices that jails and detention centers around the country that are providing, methadone, Suboxone, nicotine products to people, that help these problems. So I hope some of you could kind of look to do some research in those areas and kind of encourage that movement. And finally, I really I think there's plenty of support in the community to do a really nice holiday meal for people incarcerated. And I think that we should, I would hope that we would take the opportunity to do that. I know I'd be interested in participating, getting people to provide a nice meal to people on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Michael Washington.
The one and only. The hell you people standing up here for anyway? That's right, Mr. Kelvin, how you doing? I don't give a damn about you being DA. You understand that? Straight up. You don't scare me. Get in office and find something on me. Now then. What the hell is y'all think y'all doing up here? You got people constantly being beaten to death down there in that county jail over there. 7, 8 people running there on one in a cell and all that, not just 1 or 2 times, but constantly going on a day. Don't you know I got my inside sources? But hell, you're not going to do anything in that damn way. That's why I ain't telling you nothing about it. You're really real, call me to the side and let me give you some names in there. That's right. You got to believe it. I don't feel like being nice, friendly, or peaceful to y'all today. Y'all don't give a damn about people out here. I don't give a damn about y'all other than helping you if you need some goddamn help. Other than that, to hell with it. That's right. My humanity will prevent me not helping you if you physically in need. Other than that, to hell with what you think. Bottom line. Hell, y'all think it's a damn game or something in here? People dying every goddamn day in that cell, that jailhouse. That ain't no game, man. People up there being denied proper food, education, training, mental health facility. That's right. And Greg went finna lie for this sucker Williams, who's not in here today. At least he's kind of halfway putting the numbers up, 1,754, which we know is higher. Come on, man. I don't feel like being nice, and then I'm not going to be nice. And the hell, that stinking dog, Oklahoma City Police Department sucker chief, this is for you. Now then, that's a First Amendment right. That's what I mean to it. Straight up. I don't normally do that, y'all. They got to be pissed today. There's got to be a damn reason for that. Right? Hell with being nice around here. Tired of you people disregarding people, man. You people have an oath and a duty, man, to check on that no-good Greg Williams and money in them and that place over there. The people are dying, being hurt, being fit, not being fed, having illegal materials withheld from them. That's right. You think something funny, son? Get up off the desk there. Nothing funny. It's a joke to you, right? Chad, really? No wonder you're up here because you're a damn joke. Now, excuse my expression now. Let me move on to something else while I just have 45 seconds left. Straight up. Now then. You people are far cry from being professional. You heard what I said? That's what I need to talk to all y'all today. If y'all really real about what I know about that jail, call me to the side. Huh? What are y'all here for? Letting them people run that jail the way they want to. Disregarding human lives. Picking people up, harassing people just because it's fact for damn jaywalking on the street. Well, sir, Mr. Calvin, and all y'all, you don't scare me. Listen at this face. Damn it, put me in jail. Damn it, I'm coming back. I do the same goddamn thing when I come out. Have a good day.
Jody Poplin.
Hi. The first thing I want to say is, as for you, even you two standing there, my condolences for Bobby. And yes, I knew. You, congratulations on that runoff. And what I'm going to talk about is an inmate in the county jail. She was pregnant, and the first week she was there, Oklahoma County Detention Center and Turnkey Health decided that they would take her to have her labor induced purposely to have the baby before the due date. I spoke with William Monday about it. You can't play God. That's not your choice. She went into labor on her due date on her own, and she did deliver a healthy baby the next day. Now, with that being said, I just want to apologize for what just happened up here. That's embarrassing. And I want this to be a public announcement that I personally, in light of the fact of the allegations made against Mr. Washington, I removed myself from the Oklahoma Coalition Against People Abuse back when the news came out about that. What I do for the inmates, the phone calls I take, the emails, everything that I do, he's never helped me with it. Not one penny. Not one moment. I threw the big cookout. I cooked for 3 days. I paid for all that. I furnished his little office over here at 217 North Harvey. I went to get my furniture out of there. I did bring standby with me because I read the police report from what happened at that lady's home. So I didn't want no problems. I just need my belongings and I need to be gone. And I got caught a bit of stuff. But I warned him. Don't call me outside my name. And the officer did have to come back. And I was called a white racist. That's funny. I got a son that's black that calls me mama. Got a black young lady that's been living in my house for 2 months. So I'm far from a racist. But I apologize. It's embarrassing. And, I was getting 20, 30, 50 people to show up and protest. The last one I did not attend. I was there in my pajamas because he sent some slick stuff on my phone. And he was standing in front of the building with a bottle of water and a plastic bag looking like an inmate that just got released. But that's what I had to say to y'all today. But when it comes to the pregnant ladies, please don't play God.
Thank you.
Those babies will come when they come.
Thank you for your comments. Next up is a consent docket. There are 3 items. There are the meeting minutes of August 1st. There are the invoices and claims, and there are the income statements and financial reports. Are there any questions regarding any of the 3 items, or would any of the trustees care to poll any of the items for individual consideration?
Move its adoption.
We have a motion for adoption. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And it passes unanimously. Thank you. Next up is the report from our Chief of Operations, William Mundy. Greg Williams is on detention center business out of the city this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chairman, trust members, members of the public. I appreciate you letting me speak today. Kind of a general update. Increasing staff levels continue to be a top priority at the jail. We're hosting job fairs and continue to push to hire new staff and to retain the staff that we have. We've been getting the new employees in on Mondays, getting them acclimated to payroll, getting them acclimated to the orientation of the jail. We continue to do that every Monday. Our security upgrade is complete, and we have other projects that are approved by the county and waiting approval, and we will speak about those a little later in the presentation. I sadly report on August 19th we had a detainee death. This is being investigated as a possible suicide. The medical examiner report will be determining the final cause of death. COVID numbers. We have a significant decrease in COVID numbers since the beginning of the year. As of today, we have 2 in the jail and 3 employees that are active cases. For the month, we've had 11 detainees and 20 staff test positive. Anyone who's exposed or symptomatic, we test them. Has a court date. If they go out to the hospital, request from other agencies, or if the detainee requests to be tested, we're going to test them. We also give the vaccination still. We still have vaccinations. We offer vaccinations to every detainee that gets arrested and brought into the jail. When an inmate is positive, they're quarantined. They are left in their cell that they're housed in. If they have a cell partner, then their cellmate is left in that cell with them. We quarantine them for 5 days till symptoms are gone. And then we require them to wear a mask when they do come out. And when they're quarantined, we'll exercise them and shower them after hours when the day rooms are closed by themselves. Employee update. Have 18 new hires for 311 total staff. We have seven new cadet graduates that graduated on August 29th. So we're glad to have them. Our booking and releasing, 1940 has been released, 1979 booked for an average of 59 bookings a day. So that's 59 new receptions that we get in today in a day's time. Those are in line with what we see normally every month. Today's detainee count is 1597. We finished our security camera project, and this project put in 210 new digital cameras. Some of those are 360 cameras, very robust system that you can pan, tilt, and zoom in any direction that you want to, and it's recording 360 all the way around. So if you're looking this way, it doesn't mean you're not seeing what's behind you. So this camera is very robust, and you can zoom in and you can see what's going on in the day room. So not all of those cameras are that way, but many of them are.
Wow, the change in the quality of that video is amazing.
Yes. It's I mean, you know, the system they had before was a good system, but the new system is just amazing what they can do now. We can also keep the recordings much longer. Those are archived much longer, just depending on the use and how much they are recorded. Depends on the life of that. There are several projects awaiting bidding and approval on the ARPA funds through the county. The heat and air, that one has been approved. This is a two-part process. One is the digitally balanced Seaman system. This entails tracking, identifying, and labeling where each duct, wire, and sensor are located. This allows us to utilize our existing system to its potential. As the system stands now, most thermostats do not control the corresponding damper. The thermostat in office A may control the ventilation in office B. The whole system is designed that way. I don't know why it's that way, but we don't have schematics for it as well. Keeping temperatures within the health department regulations and venting COVID areas is currently a trial and error adjusting blind damper positions. We are currently spending approximately $150,000 annual cost in attempt to in labor alone just to maintain the temperature. So that's us actually going out there checking temperatures and actually having to physically figure out which thermostat's controlling what damper. It takes a lot of staff time to do that. We've got a lot of it tracked already, but it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any rhyme or reason. Number two is to replace the existing rusted dampers. These are throughout the facility. Those dampers are just caused from a lot of humidity when we didn't have fresh air in the jail, and then the leaking roofs didn't help that as well. To do all of this is about a $400,000 project. That's been approved. The loading dock updates and all the COVID PPE medication supplies and more delivered through these loading docks, and those doors are starting to fail. Those doors are original doors from what we've been explained and told, and so those things are just at the end of life, and it's time to replace those. The roof, we spent, approximately $4 million on the HVAC system. So the roof, the leaky roofs, has caused us some issues with the new system. So it's important we get that done. My understanding today, the Board of County Commissioners approved that project this morning, and so we'll be moving forward with getting bids and getting a engineer's stamp on that. So we'll be moving forward as quickly as we can on that. Elevators are future projects that we need to do. Those elevators again are been there since they built the jail. I think they've redone parts of them, but never redone them completely, and the whole containers and the carts and everything. So that's one project we've got to do. Right now we've got one down, and Cone is trying to find the parts for that, and they're having trouble finding that. So we're down to 2 elevators on the secure side of the jail, which hampers 33% of our activities and what we do. So that slows us way down. So we're actively working on that. So elevators is one critical part that we're going to continue to have to deal with. The lower roof repair was one that we had talked about before, and it was approved this morning as well. So both of those roof projects have been approved. Suicide prevention efforts. We've taken a hard look at that and trying to do some things outside the box. We've continued to expand our suicide prevention outreach. We've had 6 suicide attempts in the last 30 days. We were successful in 5 of those, and those were people that were on the verge of being successful, and our staff reacted quickly. Unfortunately, it appears as though we weren't successful with one of them. But so staff, thank you to my staff and the staff at the jail for quick responses and medical staff to get out there and identify these things. And I think the awareness of talking about it, we are certainly making headway with that. Again, we hate every one of them. We don't want them to happen, but we're proud of staff when they do step up and meet the mark. We've got some training going on this week. As a matter of fact, this evening, we have 2 sessions today. We have 2 sessions tomorrow. October 4th and October 5th, we have 4 more sessions on those 2 days. And that's just a suicide awareness training, what to look for, signs to look for. And we have a psychiatrist in teaching that over these next 4 days, 2 days now and 2 days in October. So we'll continue that. We've got our electronic medical and mental health forms on the kiosk for the inmates to be able to go in there and request that. And for example, on the mental health one, the first question is, do you feel suicidal? And if they check yes or hit a box that says, call 0, let camera ops know, notify the first staff member that you see, ask for help, and it automatically just flashes that on the screen. On top of that, we put prevention posters throughout the jail, in the pods, by the elevators, just many places for the staff know how to respond, but staff or for inmates to also be able to tell us, hey, let us know. We want to help you. Oklahoma County Detention Center, we have recently promoted 9 outstanding employees to the positions that you see there. I won't read their names, but we're excited to always do promotions, and we're always looking for those next leaders and examples in the jail. And it's fun when we get to do those and promote people and see them reap the rewards of their hard work. And finally, Sergeant Robert Schwartz met his untimely death this past month, and our hearts go out to his family and certainly to the sheriff's department. A good man. The staff that work with him at the detention center have certainly sung his praises and said he could walk into an area and just calm things down. And they have a lot of good memories with him. He'll certainly be missed, and our hearts go out to everybody that's affected to that. And that is our presentation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Monday. Any questions for Mr. Monday?
Yeah, I just have a couple. Mr. Monday, you mentioned about, the challenges of keeping temperature control. Is that a function of just the design or the construction of the building? Because usually it doesn't, in a normal building, it doesn't take $150,000 worth of labor time to, adjust things. Is that something that
We've found that I think that during the construction of this, you have a breaker box on the first floor, the second floor, that might affect electricity on the 8th floor. And from what has been explained to me, the damper system, HVA system, is very similar to that. It doesn't make any sense on why this thermostat would affect, the one in this room would affect 3 offices down, and that's what we've found in
so
instances.
we're still paying for the bad ideas of 30 years ago.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or some error somewhere down the road. I don't know if that's
Okay. Secondly, it wasn't part of your presentation, and Counselor, tell me if I'm straying from the item in census report. The phone service revenue is part of that from, and that's something, when we discussed this, early on at the trust, and, something that we would review from time to time is some of that, or do you know what part of that? If you don't know, maybe you could get back to me on it. What percentage of that is for like the video, like people, I know that inmates are able to stream video and stuff like that. I think, I won't speak for anybody, I suspect we're all cognizant of the fact and wanting to make sure that people can keep in touch with their families and things of that nature. But it would be useful to get an update on that, I suppose.
I can get you an update. I don't know that. What I do know is when we first stood and we negotiated the contract, it was 25 cents a minute for a phone call, and we reduced that from 25 cents a minute to 16 cents per minute.
Right.
FCC was looking at going that already and was like, let's not wait
Yeah.
for FCC. Plus, that's the right thing to do, and we dropped it to 16 cents. So that's 11 or 9 cents cheaper than what it
Right.
was.
I do recall that right early on we did that. It was moving in the direction of being more, allowing families to keep in contact with inmates, but obviously reviewing it from time. And then lastly, if you do a Thanksgiving meal or something like that, if you can let us know well in advance, I'd like to help with serving that. So,
And we do one of those. I can give you an update on that. We do one every holiday, like 4th of July, Labor Day. We do the holiday meals. We do a Thanksgiving meal, which is usually turkey dressing, cranberry sauce, dessert, mashed potatoes, cornbread, stuffing, and then for Christmas we do something the same. I think they even give ham and turkey typically at that one, I believe. But it's a pretty healthy meal. But I sure will. And I can send you the menu that our vendor does. I check on that every year to make sure that we do.
Sounds
that.
kind of like the one we had in Baghdad. Thank you.
Yep.
Other questions for Mr. Monday? All right, is there a motion to
Move we accept the report.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jim.
And Counselor, if this is an appropriate time, but going back to the telephone situation, I do think it was something that was I was put in place before I was here, talking about being reviewed, and that other jails have found ways to certainly try. I think Mr. Eddy made a very eloquent argument about the morality of the issue of people having the money versus people that do not have the money, and it's not just the profit, it's the people that don't have any, that has any finances to put something on a card, not being able to communicate with their family. And I think we should look for alternatives if we can find them.
Well, one thing I can add to that is that every week the inmates get one free phone call, 15-minute phone call, 1 30-minute video visit that's free that doesn't cost them. So they get that. Is it 2 videos?
2 videos every Monday and 2 phone calls every Monday.
So we do give some free services so they can stay in contact with their families.
All right, thank you. I believe Mr. Brown had a motion to receive the report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And it passes unanimously. Thank you. Next up is a report regarding the Oklahoma County Criminal Justice Citizens Advisory Board. Chris Steele is here this afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Steele.
Thank you so much. And just to follow up on Commissioner Calvi's request to be notified when the holiday meal is coming because he would like to serve, I would like to be notified because I would like to eat. If I would like to be a part of that.
I'll sling some turkey on your plate there.
I think it's just wonderful. Listen, I think it's just wonderful that happens, and I thank you for that. And Mr. Chairman, just very quickly, I just want to underscore what was already said. You guys are such a smart group of people, and making sure that individuals who may not have adequate resources have the opportunity to stay connected with their family is a win-win situation. It reduces stress for the person who's being detained, and it helps maintain stability for the person at home. So I thank you for your attention in that. I want to say that some things are progressing in relation to the Citizens Advisory Board. One of the things that has happened since we've last met is that we've had the opportunity to go in groups of 2 to have focus groups with individuals who are being detained. So we've gone inside and we've met with individuals who are being detained, and we've asked very candidly, how's it going? What are you seeing? Where do you think that there are room for improvements? And I want to tell you, to be able to elevate their voice and to bring those discussions and that information back to the entire Citizens Advisory Board is not only validating for the individual. We had grown men say, nobody's ever asked me what I think about anything. And here you are. And we've learned so much, and we're going to continue to do that to give us an accurate idea of really what the environment is, what the conditions are. And I want to say thank you to Mr. Monday, to Greg Williams for giving us that opportunity. In addition to that, we're able to meet with staff. One of the subcommittees that we have, official subcommittees, is the recruitment and retention of staff. And so when we go in groups of 2 or 3, so as not to violate a quorum, we're also meeting with staff, frontline staff, and we're asking them what the environment's like and what the conditions are, and if they have ideas of what could be improved. And I do want to say, and having the opportunity to work a little bit as a liaison to this trust, that I was particularly impressed by the diversity contained in the staff at the jail. Lots of diversity. I don't know if we were just, when I went in my group, if it was just today that it just happened to be that way, but I was very, very impressed with that. Just another thing that I would want to make note of, the 4 subcommittees that we have that are meeting on a regular basis is community relations, improvement to operations, recruitment and retention of staff, and policies and procedures. I want to give an update very quickly on 2 of these subcommittees. First, in relation to the recruitment and retention of staff, because we really want to make sure that we have adequate staffing levels. We have some folk on the Citizens Advisory Board that have expertise in human resources and in communications, and they are working with Director Williams to put together a survey so that the staff can take a survey even anonymously, and Mr. Williams is asking for this kind of input. You know, what would you like to see? What would make this job more exciting, more comfortable for you? What would make this job create better conditions within the environment that you're in? And so we're really looking forward to having that information and that sort of communication coming back and forth. Also want to take note that when it comes to the policies and procedures, where that subcommittee is beginning to focus is where there may be some gaps in the policies and procedures that the incredible network of nonprofit community could step in and fill. And so, for example, if there's a need for somebody who is discharged to go to treatment, and there's not a way for that person to get to treatment, we're looking at creating some policies with our nonprofit community that we could call somebody to get them to treatment. If somebody's being discharged and they may have a script but need access to the pharmacy to get their medicine filled, we're talking about policies and procedures that we could put in place within our community that would help that person have access to what they need so that they can be healthy and stable when they are discharged, and to try to make that discharge as seamless as possible. So we're very, very excited about the direction that the subcommittees are going and the information that is being received by the members of the Citizens Advisory Oversight Committee in whole. I could tell you a lot more. I'm pretty excited about the work that we're able to do. And I would just end by saying that our next Citizens Advisory Board meeting is a week from tomorrow, September the 14th at 9 a.m. in this very room. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Steele. Any questions for Mr. Steele?
Move to accept his report.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote.
Thank you.
And it passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up are contracts before the trustees, item 7, and there's one item today. It's item 7A, and this is a contract with SRB to provide engineering assistance on ARPA projects. I do know that staff solicited proposals from 5 or 6 different firms. 5, they're saying to me, some they were received the proposals, they interviewed the firms, and it was a standard professional engineering contract selection process that the trust went through, and SRB won that contract. And it's necessary for us to effectuate the ARPA projects that Mr. Monday highlighted earlier in this meeting. Are there any questions regarding the contract?
Move its adoption.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And it passes unanimously. And I'm really pleased that the voting system's working well. We've had some
Yes.
challenges over the last several meetings, so that's really a positive. Item 8 is a resolution that we adopted last time, and I asked that it just be kept on the agenda because I think it's very, very important. As we go forward, the county is going through a budget amendment process at this point in time. The county budget board will be meeting, I understand, later this month. I just want to stress how important it is for them to consider. I know they have a lot of other wants and desires, needs by other departments within the county, but I do want to highlight that our inability to hire and retain staff is really an impact. It's one of the things that came out in the Department of Health report. It's one of the things that was, I think, that may be discussed by the grand jury as they go forward, is our inability to have adequate staff in the facility. And I know you've got other priorities in the county, but I'm not sure that there are any that are more important than this as we go forward. So I would ask the budget board to give us due consideration as we go forward. And again, I know there's other needs and wants out there, and they're not wants, they're needs. I get it. And I see our esteemed long-term county treasurer in the audience, and I don't think there's only three of you here in the room, so I don't think it's unwarranted. I don't think I'm violating the Open Meetings Act by touting our need for additional funds to retain and to hire and retain our employees.
And I would echo, Mr. Chairman, everything you said. That is very important. As a member of the county budget board, this is something that maybe some people haven't realized, but unlike say a municipal government, we have 8, or at least at this juncture 7, voting members on that, and it is important that this body express its desires with regard to funding things. So that is put into the mix, and so I do think it is important that we do pass this resolution, and that we move forward at the county level to do everything we can to push that issue. And our hardworking detention center staff deserve better pay. You can't wave your magic wand and pay them $100,000 a year or something like that, but we can I hope do better than where we're at right now. I will say also, staffing issues are not something new. In the past, what was reported as working at the jail before the jail trust took over wasn't always what was actually working in the jail. And so it is not a new issue, and it's been exacerbated by COVID, very much so, as well as, just ask any business owner out there, any employer, they're having trouble getting staff. It's not unique to our jail. It's jails and prisons all over the country, and it's not unique to jails and prisons, the correction industry. It's really employers everywhere. So we do have big challenges, and it is important that we do increase pay just as much as we can. So I commend you, Mr. Chairman, for proposing this item. And I will.
Well, actually, I don't think we passed it last month, and so we were just to highlight the issue. So I don't think there's any
action required.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Mr. Chairman, this resolution is just a little bit different. And as the agenda item states, it's to address current and ongoing staffing needs. And the resolution states that that you, on August 1st, passed a resolution, but it further says that as of September 6th, there's a current and ongoing need for additional staffing. So this is an ongoing need. So it's not just the resolution from the past, it's a resolution that says today there is a need for this. So the resolution, I recommend that it do be adopted.
All right, and we have a motion from Trustee Kelvey for the adoption of this resolution. Is there a second? We have a second? Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Seeing none, please vote. And it passes unanimously. Thank you. The next regular scheduled meeting of the Oklahoma County Criminal Justice Authority will be Monday, October 3rd at 1 o'clock in this room. Item 10 is an executive session, and I would entertain a motion to approve going into executive session as specifically outlined in item 10 on the agenda.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. Are we passed? We're passed. All right, we're in executive session. Thank you.
He is one of the Citizen Advisory Board subcommittee members.
Look around there. Come say howdy. All right.
Two, three,
Here's
four,
Ben.
5.
I would move that we return from executive session.
We have a motion to return from executive session into open session. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion to second. Please record your vote. And it passes unanimously. Is there a motion?
On item 12, with regard to, I guess it would be referencing item 10 Charlie, but for item 12, an item regarding that, I would move that the confidential settlement agreement and general release by and between Lino Lopez and the Oakland County Criminal Justice Authority be approved. That the chair, counsel, and chief executive officer of the authority be authorized to take all actions necessary to effectuate this agreement.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and second regarding the motion. Please record your vote. It passes unanimously.
And then I don't think, unless council directs us otherwise, I don't think there's a need for any other action to be taken from executive session, or just proceed as discussed, or?
That's correct.
Do we need a motion to proceed in this? I don't know that we need a motion.
I think we just need a motion.
Okay.
I don't think we need any other motion today.
That's all the business before us. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Do you want this, Jim?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please record your vote.
care of the dog. And it's one thing, the house wasn't designed to be a rental, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, well, we came into there to be. And it's really, you know, mine is. Well, I bought a condo, when I came here, because, it's pretty expensive. And so I just said, I should like people buying a condo. Okay, well, I want you to stay here.